just buy the book and read it if you don't believe me, but it's an amazing book. I really do be spicing in this book. Hey babes, welcome back to my channel. My name is Isha if you're new here, and if you are new here, hope you stick around for more videos from me. And also all my social medias will be linked down below so we can be besties and locked in for life. But let's go ahead and jump right into this video. We continue a series that I started last year. My favorite books from my favorite tropes. A lot of these books you probably already heard of, and if you haven't, I'm about to put you on to some good books, okay? I'm gonna put you on some good books, some good reads that will have you swooning. Let's jump right into it. Let's go to my trusty rusty notes app, and we are going to be doing the Friends to Lovers. The first one, first up, this will not be one of my videos if I do not talk about Emily Henry. With that being said, The People We Meet on Vacation. Okay, this book right here, I think this was the first book I've read by Emily Henry. I've been attached and addicted ever since. This book's on Alex and Poppy, and Alex and Poppy have been best friends since I believe college. They're literally complete opposites. So this book is Friends to Lovers, opposite attract. This book is over one last vacation that they're going to take together. Alex and Poppy, every single summer they take a trip together. Alex, they're put together, stay at home, cozy man that likes his routine, likes his order. Poppy is let's go, let's have a new trip, let's drop everything we're doing, book a plane ticket, let's go. She's one of those. She's adventurous. She's a travel blogger, journalist type thing. Y'all know what I mean. So she's always traveling. It's been like 2 years since I read this book, okay? It's been 2 years. I'm trying to think. So basically it's been, they have some tension going on because on a couple's trip together with their respective partners, and like both the partners knew that something was going on between them. She convinces him to go on this one last trip. They haven't talked to each other since the last trip in 2 years. They go on this trip. It's kind of awkward, and they're trying to get back into their normal groove, but they also need to talk about like what happened to make them not talk to each other for 2 years. It was just amazing and wonderful. And one of my favorite quotes from the book was, "This is what I want for the rest of my life, to see new places, to meet new people, to try new things. I didn't feel lost or out of place here." If you haven't gotten into Emily Henry, I feel like this would be like the best book to start with, because like it's one of the first books I read that made me fall in love with her writing. And okay, and also this book has like another trope that I absolutely love, which is like a little like micro trope, is when she's sick and he takes care of her. So I absolutely adore that book. I love that book. I ranted about it enough. Let's jump into the next book. The next one is Binding 13 / Keeping 13. This is a part of the Boys of Tunneman series, and these are the first 2 books in the series. This is one of my favorite series of all time. I will hear no criticism about this series. Binding 13 and Keeping 13 is following Shannon like the river. That's her nickname from Johnny, but it's following Shannon and Johnny. So they're cute meet. He's a rugby player. He started the rugby team. Read the trigger warnings on this book before you jump in, because it's not one of those cutesy little romances that you're reading like hee all the time. No, you will cry, you will laugh, you will have your heart ripped out of your chest. Guys, I'm not playing when I say that this is one of the best books I've ever read. And this is one of the best series I've ever read in my life. So Shannon and Johnny meet because she is running across the field, the rugby field. He plays rugby. She's running across the rugby field. He throws a ball out of anger. He hits her in the head, knocks her out, gives her a concussion on her first day of school. At a new school at that. I have to tear up talking about it. I'm not doing this. No, we're not. No, we're not. I'm sorry. He's just like this amazing guy, and he learns she was dealing with bullying, and she's very shy, and he basically just like, we're gonna be best friends. They become friends, and they're always talking and hanging out, and he's just like the sweetest boy ever. And Shannon is just like the shy, wonderful, beautiful. By beautiful, I mean like inside and out. She's just like one of those characters that a minute you start reading about her, you get attached to her, and you just want the absolute best for her, and you want her to get her happy ending. This book also has like a family trope in it as well. But it just has all the good feels. It has all the amazingness that you will want in these books, but also the emotional damage that this book will do is crazy. So I highly recommend this book. Read the book. It's just amazing. Okay, Addicted to You, and this is following Lilo. And if you know, you know, this is one of my favorite book series ever, all time as well. So of course I'm going to have this in this video. The Addicted / Collyway series is following 3 sisters, but the Addicted books are following Lily and Lo. So Lily and Lo are fake dating to hide their addictions from their family. It's one of those books that you read where you're like, this is like a reality show and I'm loving every single minute of it, you know? And they're also childhood best friends. Like they literally grew up together, down the street from each other, sleep over at each other's houses. Like they are the epitome of childhood best friends. They're soulmates. Like they are literally so perfect. And like if you read the first book, you're gonna be addicted to read about the rest of their story. And it's like a 10-book series. Every couple in the book, but they have like 5 or 6 books in the series. Okay, so the next one is hands down. This book is by Maria Zapata. I love Maria Zapata. If you know me, you know Maria Zapata is one of my favorite authors. She writes slow burn books. So if you're not into slow burns, you probably won't like her books. Her books and the way she writes is one of the best. Like if you are wanting a slow burn, pick up one of her books and you will fall in love. You will come back to the video and be like, dang girl, you were right, because I am. Hands down is following Bianca and Zach. So Zach also pops up in The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, which is like one of her like biggest books, I think, if not the biggest book. And that's the first book that I read from her that got me into her books. Back to hands down. So this one is following Bianca and Zach. And Zach, he's a quarterback. It's an age gap romance as well. Zach and Bianca grew up together. Zach is best friends with Bianca's cousin. She was like the younger little sister that was following them around. And the older she got, the closer they got and stuff like that. Something happened between her and one of Zach's girlfriends. They stopped being friends. So years later, they're living in the same city now. That's how they get reconnected, or like hanging out together all the time. She also is like an influencer. She has like her own baking channel on YouTube, a golden retriever, going through life changes as well together. They end up also like living together, and it just has all the goodness and the cuteness that you would want in a slow burn Friends to Love. Part of their book that's in the Addicted to Escalator series, A House Flower. Now this one has some controversy. I will hear no hate on any of the characters in this series. That being said, we're gonna talk about Daisy and Reich. Daisy and Reich, 2 peas in a pod. They are like the adventurous ones out of the whole group. Reich was really there for Daisy when she was going through a whole bunch of stuff that was just like super traumatic. Daisy is the youngest Calloway sister, and Reich was just there to be like, stand up for yourself, do whatever you want to do whatever makes you happy. And their friendship was just amazing. They started running, right? And I'm thinking in my head like, Reich literally carried Daisy 3 miles running full speed to the hospital after she got hurt. These people, I love them. Okay, so the next book is If Only You. So this book is following Ziggy and Sebastian. They know each other through Ziggy's brother, Ren. So Ren and Sebastian are best friends. Ziggy and Sebastian decide to be friends to help his reputation. Ziggy also is like the baby of the family. She is a professional athlete. They both are. She propositions him and says, we should be friends. A lot of cute scenes in the book. Okay, so next one is Take a Hit, Danny Brown. Now this is the second book in the Brown sister trilogy. It's following Zeph and Danica. And Zeph is a retired football player, end up in a fake relationship because he rescues her from a building that was on fire, caught on camera. Like they were all swooning over him. He runs a pro bono foundation for kids that go to his football camp. He can get like the proper mental health resources, and he needs like sponsorships and money for that to keep going. And Danica, I don't know why she agreed to do it. I guess because he was hot. I mean, I can't really remember why she agreed to do it. He works as a security guard in the building that she teaches in, and she's a professor. He's also had a crush on her for a really long time. I really like that book. It had the comedy, it had friendship building before the lovers. And spice scenes were really good too. Now another one, I've already mentioned this book before, and Second Chance Romance. I'm gonna mention it again because it's one of my favorite books. Love in Other Words. The book is following Macy Saracen and Elliot Petropoulos. What I mean by this is a second chance romance as well is they lost communication. They were 18 and they end up meeting each other 11 years later. So Macy's dad buys a house next door to Elliot Petropoulos. I don't know why I always say their full names. Next door to Elliot, and Elliot has like a super big family. Elliot and Macy become friends because they're both lovers of reading. They're my type of people. She makes a library in her closet and they're always in there reading together. Flashes from past and present, and then you see how their friendship grows and how that friendship grows into like a relationship and like the love they have for each other, then finding their way back to each other. It's gonna be a reread again this year. I'm gonna reread it every single year. The next book is You Again. Now since I read this book, I've never shut up about it. Love this book so much. It's literally right here. Is this gonna be the only book that I pull up? Yeah, it's one of my favorite books ever. It's following Josh and Ari, and Josh and Ari are complete opposites. It's basically like Ari are complete opposites. It spans over years of them bumping into each other and not having these experiences. Last time they meet each other, they both recently went through breakups, so they start hanging out together and just like building this friendship of making life a little less miserable. still trying to date other people and like get through life. They're having like night phone calls, watching movies together, they're going to shop, they're just doing all the things. And it's based in New York, so you already know I love it because of that. All the comedy that you would want in one of those books. It has the relatability, the wit. It's refreshing to read how untogether they're like. It is Lease on Love. This book is following Sadie and Jack. Sadie recently just got fired from her job because she got passed over for promotion. Then she had her breakdown and she needs to downsize the cost of her apartment. Starts a floral company, roommate website, and that's where she meets Jack. And Jack owns this brownstone. Owns a brownstone in New York. I just whisper that. He basically gives her rent for super cheap. So like he was like closed off to the world and he wants to like start opening himself up again. And then the friend group in this book is also really cute. Like a found family type vibe. So the next one is Funny Feelings. This book is following Mayor and Farley. I think I say her name right. He also has a single dad trope. Both comedians. He's a retired comedian and he's managing Farley. Him and her end up fake dating. Comedy, it has him and his daughter being adorable. She has a super close bond with his daughter as well. It's just really a beautiful book. So the next one is X's and O's. This is kind of like a roommate romance as well. Tara and Travis ends up moving into Travis's apartment and she's basically on the hunt to find out which one of her exes could be a potential match. And Travis is hoping her go through this list, building a friendship through that. In a Jam is following Shay and Noah. They were best friends and he was in love with her in high school, but they like split apart because she moved away. She moves back to that small town because she inherited her grandmother's house, and that house is right next door to Noah's farm. It's also a marriage of convenience because they end up getting married so Shay can keep her grandmother's house. Some romance, a single parent trope because Noah is raising his niece. And the spice really do be spicing in this book. So the next one is Butcher and Blackbird. This one is about two serial killers unaliving other serial killers. They both unalive serial killers separately and then they started doing it together as like a game. It's following Sloan and Rowan. Read the trigger warnings. The comedy, it has the entertainment, it has the cuteness of the friendstolovers. It also has Sloan being super closed off, like she only has like one friend, and it has Rowan being like a golden retriever. When I got into the book I was like, I don't really know what to expect, but then I was like, I love everything that I did experience in this book. Just buy the book and read it if you don't believe me, but it's an amazing book. The next one is Role Playing. This one was really amazing and I didn't know that I was gonna like it as much as I did. The one was with Maggie and Aiden, both in their like late 40s 50s, and they end up becoming friends because they're playing online in a video game and they both think that each other are not around the same age. And Maggie's like a hermit. Her son just went off to college, so she barely leaves the house. And they finally meet because he injures himself and she brings some food. Okay, so Queen Move is following Ezra and Kimba. So we're childhood best friends. They were literally attached to the hip. They were also like next door neighbors that lived in the same neighborhood. Israel's family ended up moving away. She moved away. She helped get the president elected. If you read Kingmaker, the president elected, she comes back to town to figure out like what she's about to do. She's trying to get onto another campaign and Israel's like, this is my chance to get my girl. Basically that's what's like, this is my chance to get my girl. So it's friendstolovers because they were growing up together and they reconnect. But is it really friendstolovers? Is there, I don't know, just read the book. They rekindled their friendship and that friendship escalated into a romantic relationship. So this book had all the things and it's amazing. Also, Kimba is dealing with something. Reading right books always hit on topics that are important to discuss. This one has where she's like going through like early menopause. Yeah, that's the last book. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.